Hello, welcome back to our comprehensive React Native tutorial series. Today, we are tackling a crucial component of any media-centric app, the search screen UI. So boost your IDE and let's get started. So initially, we need a black screen. So for that, we have to add a background color. So we can add flex 1 and background color should be black. And you can use the Photoplay app starter kit. You can download that from GitHub. So we have to develop this today, the search screen with the search functionality. All right. So this is the search bar. We have an icon and a text input. All right. So we have to add the search box. So for that, we have to add a good container for that. So we can add a view component and a style, styles dot search box area. Let me quickly style that up. Let's add a height. And then we can add a background color. Then we can position that. You can wrap this in a safe area view. So let's do that. Safe area view. You can paste it here. Inside our search box area, we need another view component to place our search box. So let's add that. All right, remove area. Okay, the search box itself has a lighter background to stand out against the rest of the app. Right, so for now we can add a normal background and check. After that we can change that. We can add justify content center. When positioning, we have to increase the height. Now we can add a padding. Okay, change this to 50. And in the design, there is a border radius. So let's add that. A small border radius. Okay, let's add the actual background color. That's also like black, but that's okay. We can add the exact color. All right, let's remove that. Next, we have to add two components inside our view. View means in the search box. So two view components. The left one for the icon and the other one, the right side one, that's for the text input. Okay, let's quickly change this and we can go to the styles. All right, the icon area contains an image of a search icon. This is purely a decorative but crucial for intuitive design. We can go with flex. You have to change the direction, flex direction to row. So now I'm gonna add the image. Image means the icon. Let's add a style. And next we can give a same size, same height and width to the search icon. This ensures that the search icon has fixed dimensions and will not scale up or down regardless of the screen size or orientation. So we can add justify content center and align items center to the icon area. So that's fine. Okay, you can quickly go and check the design. So I'll check the design. All right. You can reduce the size a bit. And now we have to add our text input. So we have got our text input component where users will type their search. We have to give a style. So let's add that style. All right, so let's do some styling. Input text. Let me quickly add a background color and we can check what's happening. We can type on that. All right, so normally for this issue, we are doing like we are giving a padding from left to the text input, but in this case we don't have to give a padding like that because they have a space between the magnifying glass, the search icon, so that's okay. So we don't have to give the padding here, so let's remove that. All right, we have to change the color. All right, so you can do some styling and check. All right, so we have to implement this now. So let's do that. So for that, we have to add a new section under this. So let's add that. We can add a view component. So this should be the main list area. Let's give that one a style. All right, so let's change this to 400 and keep that like this section. After that, we can change it to a different one, or we can remove the background color. So let's keep like this. So this should be the category name area. So this is the main container for that. And inside that, we have to add two more components for one for the text and the other one for the stroke, the separator. Right, so let's add that. Okay, there should be a text component, not a view. So let's change it. We need to change the direction to row. So let's add that. All right, so let's go with flex for this. Flex 1. And we had a background color. And we can add the same, so it should get like 50-50. And now we have to increase the second area. Right, we have to increase the flex because this is the strokes, this is the separator, so we have to increase that. We can change this to 4. Okay, we can add justify content center. And we can give a height for this. All right, so after that, we can reduce that. Next, we can set align items to center. Now we can check remove the background colors. We have to reduce that again. And let's check and pick the color. That should be white, and we can reduce the opacity. All right. You need to give a font color. Increase that. This should be uppercase. Okay, shows, right? Let's change the padding. We had to reduce that. Let's change this to left and right. Okay, we can check the layout by changing the main background color. So let's do that. So increase this a bit. You can add a flat list here. For the data, you can add this one. You can change this. We can copy that from a previous one. We can bring this, paste it here. Next, I'm gonna separate this to two variables. One is the TV shows and the other one is the movies. So let's do that. We can add render items. This function is used to render each item in the flat list. We can log that and check the logs in the terminal. All right, so this is our items. Item. And now I want to add the item, one specific item to a variable, so I can add const elements, items, item. We had to remove the S on item. Yeah, that's okay. And in here we have an element, so we can check that. And these are the elements we have. And then I want to return a view component. It means I'm returning a movie. So we can add element area. So I'm going to do the styling, element area. We can add a height. All right, so let's increase the height a bit. Next, I'm going to add a width. And in here, we have all the view components. So for that, to check that, we can add a margin. Right, so we have our view components. So we need a grid view here. So for that, we can add num columns. We can add a number to this. And if we're using the flat list like a grid, we have to use the key prop and we have to use the same value, right? Let's go ahead and do like we can change the style a bit. We're gonna add a small margin. Right. You can add padding to left and right. And now we can gradually increase the height. Let's remove the 400. Change this to 160. And then I'm gonna add our image component, and we can add a source. Add an example one and check. Define a style. All right, for the image style, we can add 100%, 100% for now. And in here, we need some conditions, so we can copy the conditions from here and we can paste that, because we need to assign the correct image to the image name. So let's do that. Here we can say element.id. All right, and let's duplicate this. All right, so we can change that. Okay, now we have to create the initial stage of the image name. We can initialize this one, empty one, and we have to update our source. All right. After that, I'm gonna copy this whole section and paste it. Just we need to duplicate that. And you can wrap this in a scroll view. So scroll view, right? Scroll view, right, and paste it. And we have to add scroll enabled here. For the spacing, we have multiple things to do. And for now, we can add a small separator, a view component. Let's give a small height. All right, move this inside the scroll view. Now we have to change the category name of the second one, movies. All right, let's change that. So the separators, we have to differentiate the separators because we have a different widths, right? So let's change that. We can change the style names as well. Should be all right. Let's check. Let me quickly change the second data, second flat list data, the movies. Okay, we have to change the image names as well. All right, so I'm gonna change this to state variables. Let's do that. Right, you have to use used state hook. We have an error, so we have to check that. Now we need to change this to scroll enabled, not nested scroll enabled. We have to change this to scroll enabled false on both flat lists. All right. So now I'm going to add the filtered variables just like this. So we can add filtered TV shows and filtered movies. And we can add these variables to the flat list. All right. I'm going to add filtered movies. You cannot remove TV shows variable and movies variables. You have to keep that. But you don't have to use useState hook to that. But for now, we can keep that. All right, I'm going to add on change text. And you can't remove that TV shows and movies variables. You can't remove that because initially we have to search based on that variables. We can't filter out based on filtered TV shows or filtered movies. So now I'm going to create a variable called filtered, and I'm going to filter TV shows from TV shows. Let me console log that. And let's check the output. All right. So we need to lowercase the title, right? So we can lowercase that by adding element dot title. For more readability, I'll add it here. We can add element dot title to lowercase. So normally user types the first letter capital because the configurations are like that in our text input. So we need to make that lowercase. So you can add text to lowercase. All right, now we can compare that. We can check that includes lowercase text. All right. So if it is okay and if it is true, we can pass true or we can pass element. So in that case, the filtered variable is collecting that. All right, so let's check that. You can log that. Okay. SU. Let's filter out DE. DE. Yeah. And I'm going to set that result to the set filtered TV shows. We can add it. Let's check that. All right. Now I'm going to do the same to the movies as well. So let's do that. We can set it to set filtered movies and check. Yeah. So play with it and check it's working or not. And now we have another problem here. That the problem is if we don't have any TV shows to show to the user, we have to remove that section. We have to hide that section, right? So for that, we have to do a conditional rendering. So let's do that. We can type filtered TV shows dot length. If it is 0, we are not gonna show anything. We can type not equals show this, and if it is equals to 0, we can't show anything, so we can add null. So now I'm gonna do the same for the movies. So let's do that. All right, so let's check that. We can type HALL Yeah, so this is fine. So pick some letters or uh, keywords from movies.json and search it on your simulator or your device and check. So let's check the design. We can type str. Let's type that. All right. And that's a wrap on our React Native tutorial. If you enjoy this tutorial, this video, and learn something new, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more coding tips and tricks. Your support helps me bring more tutorials like this to you. And thank you for watching. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video.